So let's talk about necklaces. I receive messages every single week from women telling me they feel confused about accessories. They'll say things like, "I've worn this style for 20 years, but now something feels off." Or I look at younger women wearing certain pieces and wonder if I can pull that off too. And here's what I want you to understand right from the start. This isn't about age limiting your choices. This is about age refining your choices. Because here's the secret that took me years to figure out. The right necklace doesn't just complement your outfit. It lifts your face, draws attention to your best features, and honestly, it can take years off your appearance without a single cosmetic procedure. But the wrong one? Well, that's what we're here to talk about today. I've narrowed this down to 5 specific styles that, in my experience and from what I've observed on countless women, tend to work against us after 60. And I'm not just going to tell you what to avoid. I'm going to tell you exactly why these styles don't serve us anymore, and more importantly, what you should reach for instead. Because remember, we're not about restriction here. We're about elevation. Alright, number 1. And this one might surprise you because it's everywhere right now. The ultra-thin chain necklace. You know the ones I'm talking about. Those delicate, barely there chains that look like a whisper of gold or silver sitting right at your collarbone. Now on a 25-year-old with taut skin and defined collarbones, these look ethereal. But here's what's happening after 60 that nobody talks about. As we age, our skin naturally loses some of its elasticity, especially around the neck and décolletage area. This is completely normal and beautiful, by the way. But when you put an ultra-thin chain against this area, it creates an unfortunate optical effect. Instead of drawing the eye to the necklace itself, that thin line actually emphasizes the very texture and lines we'd rather not highlight. It's like drawing a ruler across a canvas. Every little variation becomes more noticeable. And here's another thing. These thin chains tend to sit flat against the skin, which means there's no dimension, no lift to the face. Your eye travels down to the necklace, and then just stops there. There's no movement, no interest, nothing to create that upward visual flow that makes your whole presence more dynamic. So what should you wear instead? Think substance with elegance. A chain that has some weight to it, maybe a 3 to 5 millimeter width, creates presence without being bulky. Or even better, consider a chain with varied links. Something with texture, maybe a rope chain or a curb chain that catches the light differently as you move. This creates dimension. And dimension is what brings life to your entire look. The key is this. You want your necklace to be a feature, not a faint suggestion. And you don't need to spend a fortune on this. Many department stores carry beautifully weighted chains in gold tone or silver tone that give you that elevated look without the precious metal price tag. Number 2, and this is going to ruffle some feathers. The super long pendant necklace that hangs below your bust line. I know. These have been marketed as lengthening and slimming. And yes, on certain body types and at certain ages, they absolutely can be. But here's what I want you to consider after 60. First, let's talk about proportions. When a necklace hangs too low, especially on a pendant that draws the eye downward, you're creating a visual anchor at the widest part of your torso. This doesn't elongate. It actually shortens your visual line because it's pulling the eye down and stopping it at a horizontal line across your body. What you want instead is to keep the focal point higher, around your collarbone and upper chest area. This is where your beautiful face is, and this is where we want people's attention to naturally land. Second, and this is important, a long pendant creates negative space between your face and the jewelry. That means there's this empty area where nothing is happening visually. In fashion terms, we call this dead space. You want your accessories to frame your face, not create distance from it. And here's something practical that nobody mentions. Longer necklaces have this annoying habit of getting caught in things. They swing when you move, they dip into your food when you're eating, they get tangled in your seatbelt. These aren't just minor inconveniences. They're constant little reminders that your jewelry is there, which means you're fidgeting with it, adjusting it, and that fidgeting reads as insecurity. So what's the better choice? A pendant that sits right at or just below your collarbone, usually about 16 to 18 inches in length. This creates a focal point in that perfect zone that lifts and frames your face. And if you love the look of a pendant, choose one that has some visual weight. Maybe something with a bit of sparkle or an interesting geometric shape. Something that says, "I'm here, I'm elegant, and I know exactly what I'm doing." You can find gorgeous options at places that won't drain your wallet. The magic isn't in the price tag. It's in the placement and proportion. Quick pause here, beautiful. If you're finding this helpful so far, would you do something for me? Tap that like button right now. It genuinely helps this video reach more women who need to hear this message. And drop a comment below telling me which necklace style you're reconsidering after watching this. I read every single comment, and I love hearing from you. Your stories, your questions, your own tips. They make this community what it is. Alright, let's keep going because the next one is probably sitting in your jewelry box right now. Number 3. Chunky, statement beaded necklaces that sit high on your neck. Now, I want to be really clear about this one because statement jewelry absolutely has its place in our wardrobe. But there's a specific type of beaded necklace that tends to work against us. And it's the kind that's bulky, sits close to the neck like a collar, and has that heavy, solid appearance. Here's why this becomes problematic. As we mature, our neck naturally becomes a bit shorter in appearance. Not physically shorter, but visually, because of changes in posture and the way our skin sits. When you add a thick, heavy collar of beads right at the base of your neck, you're essentially cutting off that vertical line. You're creating a horizontal barrier that makes your neck appear even shorter, and draws attention to the very area where many of us feel less confident. Plus, these necklaces add visual bulk right where we don't want it. They make your upper body look heavier and more compressed. It's the opposite of that lifted, elongated, graceful line we're trying to achieve. And let's be honest about comfort. These beaded collars are usually heavy. They pull on your neck, they make you aware of them all day long. And by the end of an evening, you can't wait to take them off. That's not the relationship we want with our jewelry. So what's the sophisticated alternative? If you love the boldness of statement jewelry, and you absolutely should because bold is beautiful, opt for a single strand of larger, spaced-out beads that sits lower, around your collarbone. Or consider a statement piece that has an asymmetrical design, something that creates visual interest without creating that choking horizontal line. The key is air, space, and movement. You want your necklace to feel like it's dancing with you, not weighing you down. And here's a little secret. Vintage shops and online marketplaces are treasure troves for these kinds of pieces at prices that will make you smile. Number 4, and I'm going to say this with love because I wore these for years myself. Necklaces with childish or overly whimsical charms. You know what I mean? The necklaces with little teddy bears, cartoon characters, overly cute sayings, or charms that look like they belong in a children's jewelry section. Now, before you think I'm being harsh, let me explain my thinking. After 60, you have earned a level of sophistication and presence that deserves to be reflected in everything you wear. Your jewelry should communicate confidence, elegance, and a life well lived. When you wear something that skews too young or too cutesy, there's this disconnect between who you are and what you're presenting to the world. It's not that you can't have fun with your jewelry. Please have fun. But there's a difference between playful elegance and looking like you're trying to recapture your youth. One feels authentic and joyful. The other, unfortunately, can read as insecurity or an inability to embrace where you are in life. And here's something I've noticed. When women wear jewelry that doesn't match their sophistication level, they often feel it themselves. There's this subtle discomfort, like wearing a costume rather than an authentic expression of yourself. Your accessories should make you feel powerful, elegant, and completely yourself. Not like you're playing dress up. So what should you choose instead? Meaningful jewelry that tells your story in a sophisticated way. Maybe a pendant with your birthstone or a locket with a timeless design. Perhaps a charm necklace where each charm is elegant and represents something significant in your life. Travel coordinates of a place that matters to you, a delicate initial of a loved one, or a symbol that represents your values. These pieces have depth, meaning, and they communicate that you're a woman of substance. And can I tell you something wonderful? Some of the most beautiful, meaningful jewelry doesn't cost much at all. It's about the design and the story, not the price. You can create a collection of pieces that feel expensive and personal, without spending a fortune. Check out artisan sellers online, local craft fairs, or even reimagine pieces you already owned by having them redesigned by a local jeweler. The investment is small, but the impact on how you feel when you wear it? That's priceless. And finally, number 5, the matching set syndrome. This is when your necklace, earrings, bracelet, and sometimes even your ring are all from the exact same set. All perfectly coordinated, all screaming, "I bought this as a package deal." Now, I need you to hear me on this one because it's subtle but so important. Matching sets can look costumey. They can make you appear dated, like you haven't updated your style sense in decades. And more than that, they remove all sense of personal curation from your look. They say, "Someone else put this together for me," rather than "I thoughtfully chose these pieces because they reflect who I am." Fashion at any age, but especially after 60, should look effortless and personal. It should look like you've collected beautiful things over a lifetime, and you know how to put them together in a way that feels uniquely yours. When everything matches too perfectly, you lose that sense of individual style. You lose the story. And here's another consideration. Matching sets often include pieces that don't all work with your specific features. Maybe the necklace is perfect, but the earrings are too long for your face shape. Or the bracelet overwhelms your wrist. When you commit to wearing the whole set, you're forcing pieces that might not actually serve you. So what's the more elevated approach? Curate your look. Choose your necklace first based on your neckline and what your face needs. Then add earrings that complement, but don't match exactly. Maybe they're in the same metal family, but they're a different style. This creates visual harmony without looking like you're wearing a uniform. Mix metals if you want to. Combine gold with silver. Pair vintage with modern. Layer textures and styles. This is how you create a look that feels expensive, personal, and completely confident. And the beautiful thing? You probably already have pieces in your jewelry box that you can mix in fresh ways. You don't need to buy anything new. You just need to see what you have with new eyes. Start small. Tomorrow, when you're getting dressed, choose your necklace first. Then look at your earrings separately and ask yourself, do these complement my necklace, or am I just wearing them because they match? You'll be amazed at how this one small shift can completely transform your entire look. So there you have it, beautiful souls. 5 necklace styles that just don't serve us the way they used to, and more importantly, exactly what to reach for instead. But I want to leave you with this final thought. These aren't rules. These are guidelines meant to empower you, not restrict you. If you have a piece that technically falls into one of these categories, but it makes you feel absolutely incredible when you wear it with pride. Confidence is the best accessory you can ever put on. What I want for you is to feel amazing every single day. To look in the mirror and think, yes, this is me. This is exactly who I am, and I look wonderful. And if today's video helps you get even one step closer to that feeling, then my job here is done. Before you go, I'd love to know, which of these 5 surprised you the most? And what necklace style do you absolutely love wearing? Share with me in the comments because I genuinely want to hear from you. Your insights help shape future videos, and who knows, your comment might inspire our next topic. If you enjoyed this, you might love our video on earring styles that flatter mature faces. I'll link that up in the cards for you. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, because every Tuesday and Friday, we're here having these honest, helpful conversations about looking our absolute best without spending a fortune. Until next time, keep glowing, keep growing, and remember, timeless style isn't about following trends. It's about knowing what works for you and wearing it with unshakable confidence. I'll see you in the next video, beautiful. Take care.